I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today and learn all about Azure Active Directory and what it can do for your business. You know, the world is going through some pretty amazing changes right now, where a lot of the super interesting innovation is happening outside of your corporate firewall. 5 or 10 years from now, every major company in the world will have nodes of compute. They'll have a node of compute on premise, and that'll be a private cloud that's run super efficiently. But you'll also have nodes of compute all over. You'll have lots of people who want to use lots of devices to connect with those nodes of compute, and they'll need to be able to seamlessly interact with each other. The potential for business wins in this case is just unbelievable, but it's also a little scary. How do you know that people are doing the right things in the right places and that are compliant with your corporate policies? You need an intelligent identity control plane. And that's what we've built Azure Active Directory to be. Your control plane based on identity that gives you the ability to connect up all of these different resources in a way that's compliant and secure. Now, companies all over the world, large and small, are using Azure Active Directory today to do just that. And what they do is basically 4 main things. The first thing they do is they hook up Azure Active Directory with Office 365 and their other SaaS applications. And they use it to do things like making sure that users are secure and they can get single sign-on to all the apps they need. In fact, they can even get single sign-on to the applications back on premise that they need using the AzureAD app proxy. The second thing that they do is then reach out and invite their customers and their partners to come do business with them and collaborate in the cloud using AzureAD B2C and our B2B capabilities. Third, they set up conditional access policies. And this is a way of expressing your company policies around compliance and security to determine who can get to what resource using what device from where. Maybe you want people to only be able to get to your corporate SEC reports when they're on premise, but you want them to be able to access their email from their iPads sitting in Starbucks. Conditional access policy will let you do that. And then the last thing that customers love to use is our Identity Protection Center. Our Identity Protection Center looks at every single authentication coming through Azure Active Directory. So every time somebody tries to log in, the machine learning system gives a risk score. How likely is that person to be who they say they are? And if they're a hacker, we either block them or we force them to do a multi-factor authentication. That way you know that all of your corporate resources, whether they're in the cloud or on-premise, are always secure. Microsoft wants to make sure that your success as you begin this journey to getting ready for a world of nodes of compute and devices and seamless collaboration with all of your customers, employees, and partners. We can't wait to hear the amazing things you're going to do using Azure Active Directory.
Hi, I'm Sue. I lead the customer and partner success team for the identity division in Microsoft. My team's mission is, as our name implies, to ensure that our customers and partners' experience with our products is in fact a success. In the world of business today, we are operating at cloud speed, and that means we need to cut the distance between our customers and the engineering team. My team creates relationships with our key customers that are deep, meaningful, and long-lasting. That enables us to be able to deeply understand our customer scenarios and then work with the engineering team to ensure that our products and services meet those needs. Now, we're going to show you some real-world scenarios that will get you thinking about how you can use Azure Active Directory.
Let's take a quick look at a scenario featuring single sign-on. Christina Kelly is a loan officer at Woodgrove Bank. In her line of work, Christina works with customers and partners to get loans processed using the bank's loan application software. She doesn't realize it, but Christina is using AzureAD's single sign-on feature, which makes work easy and efficient. She only needs to enter her credentials once to access all her on-premises and cloud applications. AzureAD also makes working with clients and other businesses that much easier. Christina sends sensitive application materials about the customer's new home project securely using an app within AzureAD. She then reaches out to the applicant's general contractor and requests access to the proposed construction plans. AzureAD allows you to connect with people outside of your company without having to create or manage those identities.
Now let's see another customer use AzureAD in their workplace. Dave Saxon is an IT administrator for Van Arstel Limited. From the administrator page in AzureAD, he can easily set policies to manage access. When a sign-on doesn't meet the conditional access criteria that Dave has in place, the user is prompted to go through multi-factor authentication before being granted access. And when an account is compromised, Identity Protection immediately blocks access and urges the user to change their password. Protecting your company's information is simple when you take advantage of conditional access powered by identity protection in AzureAD.
This is the new Microsoft. My team is here to help customers and partners get the most out of Azure Active Directory.